welcome back to another video. This time around on the TOUR 660 again. I am currently riding towards Wilhelmina and with the intention to ride the Wilderness Road. The Wilderness Road is also part of the Trans-European Trail, and I think it's the track number 16 if I'm not mistaken. So as I said, I'm going to ride to Wilhelmina today and set up camp there and stay the night at some random location that I have spotted. I'll be doing some wild camping, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings. If there is anything interesting to show, I will bring you in. Otherwise, I will probably just see you at the campsite. The Wilderness Road stretches between Wilhelmina and Strömsund, crossing some of the most remote and untouched landscapes in Sweden. It's the country's highest paved road, reaching over 870 meters above sea level as it crosses the Stekenjokk plateau. Open only during the summer months, it's famous for its breathtaking mountain scenery, roaming reindeer, and the feeling of true wilderness. I've set up camp here at Bäskseleforsen, one of the wildest rapids along Vojmån. The river starts up by the Norwegian border and eventually flows into Blåsjön in Wilhelmina. It's a popular water for sport fishing, with the long stretches that still feel untouched. For some reason, I have always had a thing for whitewater rapids. Maybe it shows, maybe it doesn't, but if you follow along on this journey, you'll probably notice it sooner or later. Of course, I forgot to record my camping setup, and after a pretty horrible night's sleep, I woke up to this. A beautiful day, and hopefully you can see the enthusiasm in my eyes when I realized I forgot coffee. But listen to that peace and quiet though. After a steady breakfast, it was time to hit the road again. made a quick stop at the local gas station in Vilhelmina to refuel the bike and also to buy some much needed coffee.
Okay everybody, we have now arrived at TET section 16. A pretty boring gravel road to start, and I was kind of hoping that it would follow the wilderness road all the way, but apparently it does not. So we'll see if we're going to make a change of plans. This section is not it is not that far. It's only like 200 kilometers or so, but hopefully there will be some cool stops along the way. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Section 16 rejoined the wilderness road at Stora, and from there on out there were many things to see. A quick lunch break at Trappstegsforsen before continuing on towards Saxnäs and then Klimpfjäll. Klimpfjäll is the last village you reach before the treeless highlands take over and the Stekenjokk plateau begins. Stekenjokk has so much to offer, and the scenery is simply breathtaking. No matter where you look, nature surrounds you in its purest form. Next time, I'll set up camp and spend the night, taking in the silence and the beauty for a little bit longer. But for now, the journey continues and the road ascends towards Stora Blåsjön. I decided to stop at the store at Stora Blåsjön for some snacks. And when arriving, I came across this absolute legend. I had to stop and chat him up a bit. Just a couple of minutes down the road from Stora Blåsjön, Brakkåfallet is the next thing to see. From here, the TET takes a different direction. Instead of following the wilderness road, section 16 continues into Norway, where section 15 begins, or ends if you will. My original plan was to head towards Gäddede and later continue to Strömsund via section 15. Unfortunately, I made a small navigation mistake and ended up on some incredibly fun roads in Norway instead. Wasn't exactly what I had planned, but sometimes those unexpected detours became part of the adventure. Eventually I found my way back and arrived at Gäddede. By then I was too tired to search for a wild camping spot, so I decided to pay the 150 Swedish crowns for a campsite. It included a hot shower, and after a long day on the bike, that was absolutely worth it. I woke up the next day after a really good night's sleep to a quite chilly morning. But after some coffee and a can of ravioli, I was ready to get going again. I continued along section 15 with the goal of reaching Strömsund and then make up my mind as I go. I made a quick detour to Hällingsåfallet, and if the waterfalls yesterday were cool and all, this one was amazing. At this point, I was starting to get a little tired of endless gravel roads with really no interesting sections. Sure, the scenery is beautiful, but I was craving a bit more action. And if you ask for it, you just might get it. I have left the next clips pretty much unedited, and if it doesn't come across clearly on camera, the climb is seriously steep. See if you can spot the exact moment when the front wheel lost traction and I almost crashed. As fun and exciting the climb was, the way back down was just as terrifying and challenging. From there it was pretty smooth sailing towards Strömsund. And finally in Strömsund I decided enough is enough, so I started to head back home. What an absolute legend, traveling from Italy on a Vespa. But sure, Italian motorcycles are the thing, right? The rest of the way home were pretty fast paced, and you can probably hear how well my pretty off-road biased tires likes the asphalt. This is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, ride safe.